and welcome to my channel. I am Stephanie, and this is the week 24 weekly wrap-up, June the 9th until the 15th, and yeah, that's. As I said, this is the week 24, June the 9th until June the 15th. Wrap up for the week and then what I'm currently reading and things like that. Let's see. First thing that I read last week was Smooth Moves by Mary Hart, and I placed this in contemporary. I give it 3 stars. I give it 2 Steam fans. I listened to I didn't listen to this. I read it as an ARC from NetGalley, and this book follows Cash and Jordan. Cash is a partner in a moving company, and Jordan is a former military police soldier that is now out of the military for different reasons, what have you. And Cash was in the military as well, and he started the company. So there's a lot of things that were repetitive with this story up until about 70%, and then all of a sudden you threw a whole bunch of different information in there, and it was like, what? Where did that come from? Oh, okay. It was interesting. It is a book number 2 in a series called Vet Movers or something like that. I didn't read the first book in the series, so maybe if I had read that one, I would understand a little bit more, but regardless, there was a whole bunch of repetitious information that kept coming up, and it was like, but why do we keep saying that? Why do we keep going over that? And I get that they got out of the military under suspicious terms and they left honorably, but you know, it was because of the politics that went along with them. I was like, ugh. And normally I'm very picky when it comes to my military romances and things like that, especially when you ingrain the story with so much military. I appreciate that a lot of the terms that were used were correct. However, it didn't work for me. It didn't. The next book that I read was Fix Her Up by Tessa Bailey. I place this in rom-com, and I give it 5 stars. I give it 4 Steam fans. I read this one as an ARC. This book was so good. Oh my goodness. So Tessa Bailey has been talking about this book constantly over on the podcast of Read Me Romance. Not that it was featured there. I read it as an ARC, as I said, and I loved every minute of it. I was so all about it. So in this book, you have Georgie, who is the youngest of the Castle family, and they are a company or a family that is very well into construction and design and things like that. But she has decided to take her own path and become a child's party clown. But she wants to actually be taken seriously, and her family doesn't, because 1, she's a baby, and 2, she's the baby of the family, and 2, because she decided not to take the beaten path that the family is on. And in order for her to do that, she decides that she is going to go after, sort of, and help out her brother's best friend, who is Travis, who has come home after an injury and after being passed around in the Major League Baseball league. And he's just down on his luck and is like, I'm a failure and I don't know what to do with myself. But he is working for the family's company, and he is just sort of getting by. Well, she helps pull him out of his shell, and they have sort of had an attraction since they were younger, but of course there's an age gap, so it was like, oh, brother's best friend, and the only thing that Travis saw Georgie as was the, you know, brother-sister type thing. So, you know, they had to work through those little issues, but it's great. It's great. It's classic, amazing rom-com sexy time for Tessa Bailey, and loved it every minute of it. And I am working through her collection, and I'm loving everything that Tessa Bailey has given me, like everything. The next book that I read was Too Hard by Alexa Riley. I place this in erotica and I give it 4 stars. I give it 5 Steam fans. I read this as an ebook and it is a short, sweet, sexy, sassy, filled with goodness. Oh my goodness. So you have Butch, who is the contractor, and Harlow is a sort of nerdy female that doesn't really leave her house, but she's a computer genius and a gamer. Yes, gamer. Well, she has a cousin that has been reworking her apartment and everything like that. And then there's this drip in her kitchen where she thinks she's smart enough to go ahead and take care of it herself. But lo and behold, she makes it even worse. Enter Butch, and he comes over and fixes that pipe and lays some pipe, and it's fun, it's short, it's everything that Alexa Riley promises when it comes to sexy and hotness, and I really enjoyed it. Which brings me to the spin-off or companion or however you want to call it, next book in that sort of duet series type thing, which was Too Much by Alexa Riley. I still place this in erotica. It is an MFM book, so Menage, and I give this one 4 stars. I give it 5 Steam fans. Read it as an ebook as well. It is a short story. As I said, a spin-off because you meet the 2 guys from this book, Elijah and Owen, in the first book of Too Hard. Meet them there. They are the twins that Butch has been taking care of, sort of like his sons, and then in walks Nellie. Nellie you met in Too Hard as well. She's the cousin, she's the designer, and they all have a company together, or construction company together. Nellie is the designer. The guys have taken over for Butch to allow him to now go and retire. It's just lovely. It's lovely. It's sexy. It's lots of sexy time. So if you're not into that whole smutty sexy time, leave it be. If that's not your cup of tea, but if you're here for it, if it's a palate cleanser for me. It was just what I needed. Lots of sexy time, everything that I desire from Alexa Riley books, and yes. The next book that I finished was The Duke's Twin by Lauren Smith. This is an erotic, historic romance short story, and I give it 4 stars. 4 Steam fans, and I listened to it on the podcast of Read Me Romance. Read Me Romance. And this book follows Rebecca and Lydia, Miles and Justin, and Miles and Justin are twins, and one's a duke and one doesn't hold a title. Well, they decide to do a little switchy switch because one of the duke actually has to get married, and so they do that switch thing. Well, the older sister, I want to say, is Rebecca, but the mother is trying to marry off Lydia to the duke, who is the younger, or maybe I had that flipped around. Regardless, those four players right there, are all in it together, and you get Rebecca and Miles' story of how they met and how they worked together, and you know, it's just short, it's sexy, and it's historical romance, and I was here for it. Like, there's this one scene that's just like, who would have thought non-intercourse could be so stinking sexy. Then the final book that I finished reading last week was I Am Watching You by Teresa Driscoll. And I place this in thriller. I give it 3 stars. I give it 0 Steam fans. I listened to it as an audiobook. I listened to this for the Buzzword Readathon, for the Buzzword of You. And I also listened to it for Romanceopoly. I'll make sure I put what category that was in. And this book follows 2 girls who are off on holiday, and one ends up coming up missing. There is a whole host of characters throughout this book that you're sort of following and you're hearing from, and they're like aptly named as the witness, the sister, the father, the mother. I don't even know who the real main characters are. If it was Anna, if it was Sarah, if it was the witness, if it was the parents, if it was the brother, if it was the... So So much going on. But I get that because it's a thriller mystery type thing, and the actual who did it was like, oh, okay. There's a whole bunch of misdirection and stuff like that there. So I was just like, I get where you were trying to go with it, but just wasn't for me. On to what I am currently reading. I am currently reading The Locker Room by Megan Quinn, and I am reading this as an ARC. It comes out this week, so make sure you go and check this out. This cover is amazing, and this story has already had me laughing out loud. It is about a college student who has a cheating boyfriend, or a boyfriend that cheated on her, so she moves from California in with her two BFFs, which is like Midwest type new college and everything like that, sort of wanting to get back on her feet and things like that. And then you have the star baseball player who is in his junior year and is like just taken with this new person that he has met. And she's playing hard to get. He is like, I'm down. I kind of want to hook up. I kind of want to be with you. I kind of want to get to know you. And their banter back and forth is absolutely hilarious. So funny. Like I said, I was laughing out loud from like 0% all the way through to where I am right now. There's little moments here and there that I'm just like, so funny. So funny. I am also reading Indefinite by Corinne Michaels, and I am reading this one as an ARC. It does come out at the end of the week or very beginning of next week. Ugh. This is diving back into the Salvation series, which is about Navy SEALs. This is the story that we have been waiting for between Ashton and Quinn, and I haven't gotten too far into it, but I know that I'm going to be here for it. It is part of a duet, so I'm sure that this book ends on a cliffhanger, and we will get the conclusion in a couple weeks as well. I'm totally looking forward to it. I know that I'm probably going to get my heart ripped out because it's Corinne. It's Corinne Michaels. I haven't really found any books that I don't like of hers. So I'm waiting for it. I'm waiting for it. Yeah. You guys will hear my feelings about that one next week. Those are the books that I read last week and the books that I am currently reading. Let me know down in the comment section if you have read any of them, what you thought of them. Does my description make you want to go out and read more about them? I do apologize for if you end up going to my Goodreads to actually see the written reviews, which all my social information is down in the description box. If you happen to go over there and I don't have a very descriptive, I guess, written review for it, sorry, last week was kind of blah. Let me know down in the comment section. Let's discuss the books and things like that. As always, if you enjoyed this video, please give me a big thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Also, there is a feedback form down in the description box so you guys can help me improve my channel. Thank you for watching, and we will see you guys later.